Hello, hello, everyone. It is Brenda here for Simplicity, and welcome to our happy Summerween Boo Bash week. We are on day 4 already. Can you believe it? Thank you for joining us. If you're joining us live or on the replay, we appreciate you viewing and watching us inspire you with all these great, fabulous Halloween products. All right. So we started the beginning of the week with a real Summerween theme, Halloween inspired or summer inspired Halloween products. And now we're transitioning more to Halloween, all right? I'm not going to lie. And the whole week was going to focus on the Summerween products, but we're starting to get all the wonderful Halloween products in from all the different companies. Yesterday we did Lawn Fawn. Today we're doing Spellbinders. Tomorrow we're doing Graphic 45. So I pivoted a little bit, combined all the Summerween stuff in the first two series or video series, and now we're really going to concentrate on Halloween, which I'm loving. All right, so today the main focus is on these lovely rub-ons from Spellbinders. All right. So this is a brand new rub-on set. We love this Spellbinders rub-ons. And how they coordinate with a lot of their dyes and such. So this is a new one called Tricks and Treats. All right. So there are 2 pages in here. All right, so these are the 2 sheets that you're going to get in there. A really great, let me just switch the camera view here. So let me take myself off, and then you can kind of see them up close. But aren't they sweet? I love them. Now, there is some larger rub-ons here, some medium-sized rub-ons here, and then there are some tiny ones. And I wanted to show you what you can do with all of these, all right? So we're going to do a bunch of different designs using some of the large, the medium, and then those tiny ones, all right? So let's get started. All right. So I will talk about the different products I am using throughout the video. And they should all be in stock at Simplicity as well. So, and if they're not, we can definitely order them in. So let's get started with, this is day 4, guys. Day 4 of our Boo Bash week. All right. So we are going to start with the larger ones and work our way down to the smaller ones, all right, in terms of the rub-ons. So I think I'm doing 2 for each size. Now the small ones, we'll see what we do with the small ones, all right? I do have a project, and then I just thought of another project that I could probably, we'll see, we'll get there. All right. So we're going to do a nice shaped card to begin with. And this is a new cut and emboss folder from Spellbinders. Now, I've taken the liberty of doing all my die cutting ahead of time just to speed things up and get more crammed in. So this is, and I forget the name of this one. And of course, I don't have my iPad here to look up after this one, but this is some type of frame. I will give you the code because there's no name on here. And I don't have the packaging because I got a prototype. This is from Spellbinders. This is an emboss and cut folder. That means it will emboss and cut all at the same time. And I want to say Greenwich frame, something like that. And this is E3D-174. You will find this under July arrivals on our website. Maybe I'll list the products I use when I post the pictures of our finished project. So maybe that's what I'll do, and I'll get the exact name for this. But I love these cut and emboss folders from Spellbinders. Ours is well used because, again, we'll be using this in our North Pole adventure because it's such a great folder. All right. So it's got this great frame. All right. You're going to get the die. All right. You can see the die is adhered into my folder. You're going to get the die and it will emboss that beautiful detail. Then you're going to get a secondary die that you can use. You can tape that in to actually make this into a frame, or you can use it as a layering piece. We're going to be using it as a layering piece today. But it's also got these great florals as well, and they come with the dies as well. So they really jam-packed this folder so that you can have more than just a frame, all right? So those flowers and leaves are a nice decorative element. You can use them with the frame or a la carte, all right? So we're going to start with this one first. All right, so I've taken the liberty of die cutting 2 panels, and we're going to make this into a shaped card. All right, so the first one is a black one, and you can see the embossed details on there. I love the shape of this. This is an A2 card. And so to do that, you're going to go ahead and tape in, and I always tape the die to the side that has the Spellbinders logo on it, all right? You're going to tape it in, and it will kind of recess in there, all right? So you're going to place it in there, and you will see that it will fit in there, and then I just used my best tape ever and just taped that in, all right? Now, the reason why they don't embed these dies into the embossing folder is that if you want to use them by themselves, especially for this one here, because what I've done is I've used that die by itself to create the backing of my card. All right, but let's still talk about the emboss. So once you have that taped in, then you can put your paper in there, and then you will run this through your machine with the adequate sandwich. And I say that because I know what my sandwich is for my machine, because I have the universal plate system from Spellbinders, which makes it really, really easy. It's going to be your base, your folder with your paper, and then the gray adapter plate. Easy peasy. But if you have a machine and you don't have the universal plate system, you just have to figure out what the sandwich is. All right, so just play around with your different components, and you will find which one it is. All right, so what I did with that is I did exactly that, and then I got this beautiful frame, all right, panel with the embossing. So then I took the die out. All right, I took that out, and then I cut a piece of white cardstock. Excuse me. All right, and no embossing on this. This is just using the die cut, and this is going to be the back of my card because I'm going to make a shaped card. All right, so let me show you how to do that. Let me put that there. All right, so I have my front and I have my back. Now the back is the one we want to do a little scoring on. All right, so I'm going to grab my scoring tool here, and I'm going to go ahead and score at 1 inch. All right, so I'm just going to line this up as best I can at the 1 inch mark, making sure I'm using my scoring blade. I'm going to score that. All right, and now we have a score line. I'm going to go ahead and fold that now. I'm going to fold it one way, and then I'm going to fold it the other way. And I am going to use a bone folder to crease that fold. And now we're going to make this into a shaped card. All right, so I'm going to dry fit to make sure I have it the right way. And because we use the same die to cut the outside, everything is going to match. All right, so that's going to be the way we're going to put it. So I'm going to use my liquid glue, and I like using liquid glue because then I have time to shimmy things. All right, I put liquid glue just above the score line. I'm going to take my top panel now, and we are just going to match that up. And by using the liquid glue, if something did not match up and I needed to shimmy it, it's going to give me some time to do that. Okay, I'm going to let that glue just kind of attach to each other there, the papers. All right, and now that has become our shaped card. All right, so now it's going to stand up. We've got this beautiful shaped card. I love the detail on this embossing folder. I know a lot of you have it already, but I think it's just something that you're going to use over and over again, and because it's all seasons. All right, so what another way of enhancing this would be using waxes over top of the emboss to really highlight them. It's going to give you that really kind of antique look to that frame. There's so many possibilities to use this frame, and I just think it's gorgeous. All right, we're going to let that glue dry. And now let's go ahead and do our rub on. All right, so I just have a piece of white paper here, and we're going to be using the other die from that frame. All right, so this was the inside. We're going to be using that in a second because we're going to cut out our and then layer it on our card front here. So I'm just going to leave that to the side there. All right, so let's go ahead and pick which one we want. This is going to be the hard decision because they're all so sweet. I really like this little ghost on the swing. So let's go ahead and use that one. So I'm going to just rough cut this out. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and take the backing off, and I'm just going to place this on my scrap piece of white paper here. All right. So normally I will run this through my die cut machine because I've shown you that trick many, many times. However, if you were to see my die cut machine, it's kind of buried with stuff on it. So I'm not going to attempt to remove the piles of stuff that's on my die cut machine. So I'm just going to use my bone folder. But you can run this through like you would if you were die cutting. And that will transfer beautifully. I'm just going to go old school. I'm going to use my Teflon bone folder here. This one's got the, the tapered edge, and this one has the angled edge, but it's got that flat, which is perfect for rub-ons. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some pressure on that straight edge along all the pieces, or all the picture. And then when I think I'm good, I'm going to lift one corner up very carefully, all right, and just pull it back slowly. If you find that there's still pieces that did not transfer over, then just lay it back down and burnish again, all right? But these really go well. All right, so I see that my little bit of my ghost head did not. So now, because I didn't rip it off right away and I went gentle, I can lay that back down, add a little bit more pressure, and now that transferred over, and I don't have to realign it and all that. So that worked out perfect. All right. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. That transferred over beautifully. Let's all take a moment. Look how cute that is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now I'm going to die cut this out. So we want to be kind of our little ghost be in the main frame. So I'm going to center it left to right around that swing. All right, we're not going to get the full branch, but that's okay. We're still going to get bits and pieces of it. I'm just going to move it up just a tad bit. I think I'm good there. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to tape it in place. I'm not going to take my chances. I don't want that die to move because it's nice and straight. So I'm just going to grab my best tape ever, and we're going to tape it in 2 spots. All right. I always like doing 2 spots because then I know it's not going to shift on me. All right. So there we go. Oh, I guess I got to move everything off my die cut machine because I have to die cut this. All right, give me a second, guys. All right. Just placed everything on the floor. And let's go ahead and die cut that. All right, there we go. We've got our little ghost cut out using this lovely rectangle die. Lovely, lovely. Okay. And now this little piece here, because we use the coordinating die, is going to fit right into that frame ever so nicely. You know what? I think I need to get waxes out. I really think we need to highlight this. Give me 1 second. Da, da, da. All right, let's see. We have the Lisa Horton waxes here, and copper would be lovely, or gold. Let's see what colors I have. They're all stuck in my little copper. The other one that might be nice as well, like I said, rich gold, bronze rose. I wonder. All right, let me just see. I'm going to open this up. I'm between copper. I think copper might be the winner. Ooh, that bronze rose is nice too. All right, we're leaving both of them out. Okay, sorry, I went quiet there. I was thinking. So you can use your finger to apply roses, the waxes, but I like to use a dauber. Sorry, so I had to get my dauber that's got the wax. This is my wax one, and then I just got a fresh dauber because the other one was gold. All right, so I probably should have done this before I attached it to the base, but that's okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of both because I'm loving both of these. So when you because this one's gonna pick up those kind of brown tones in there, and the copper's gonna pick up those orange tones. So we're gonna do a little bit of both. So when you're using these waxes, there's all different colors. They're awesome. These are water-based waxes, so they're a little bit different from other waxes. But I like using a dauber, and I like using the dome daubers on this. All right. So again, I'm just going to go in a circular motion and pick up some of that. And then on the lid, I like to go in a circular motion just to work that wax into the sponge and not be all goopy. All right. You can see the beautiful pinky coppery color it is. Okay. So then in a rotating motion, you're going to go a very light touch over top of the embossing. All right. And this is going to start highlighting that embossing. All right. So just a light touch. You can see that on there, and it's just going to give a shimmer of that color. But you really want a light touch. And I like going in circular motions, just like I do inking, because you want to hit the embossed parts at every angle. All right. So I'm going to apply this color first, and then I'm going to add a little bit of that copper. Now these waxes will show on dark papers and light papers. They change the look when it's on a light paper. You're going to get more of that pinky tone coming through. These are just fun, and I don't play around with these as often as I should. All right, so let me just, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. All right, so it really highlights that. So that was the bronze rose, which is stunning, but I want to add just a little bit of copper just because I can. So I'm going to use the same wax. And again, rotating motion to pick them up. And then I'm just going to use a lid. And now I'm going to go over. And I don't need to go over the whole thing. I just want, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Ah! I don't think the camera's really picking up the true beauty of this. You'll just have to take my word. All right. So I don't want to go too crazy with it. All right. But what I am going to do now is going to hit the edges of this. Almost like I'm distressing it with ink, but now I'm doing it with wax. I'm kind of glad I decided to do this instead of just being a thought. All right, guys, you got to get a wax. Honestly, it's so pretty, especially if you have this embossing folder. Look at that. Like there's different greens and such, you can make that patina. And again, this works on all cardstock colors as well. But look how beautiful that is. Sometimes I amaze myself. All right. So I did get a little bit on the back side here. So I am just going to open up my card, and I'm going to just hit the edges just to bring in. And now you'll be able to see that color. And again, you can use this like distress ink. You can just distress it. It's just going to give you a metallic finish. All right. So I am just going to do that around the edges because I did get some on the edges. So let's make it consistent like I actually meant to do that. All right. So there we go. All right. So now we've got that little highlight on there. Okay. That was fun. There are a variety of colors. I think there's 12 colors in her family. I don't have all of them here. Check them out, guys. They are really, really fun to play with. All right, so I am just going to clean this up. Squeaky clean. Okay, let's continue on. All right, so now our little guy, look at that with that, and now with that little bit, you can't really see it, but that looks incredible now on there. Oh, so, so nice. All right, so we're gonna just glue that on. I'm wondering now, you know what? I'm gonna take this and just hit the edges as well. It just gives that little shimmer around the edge. A little goes a long way with this wax. It'll last you forever. All right. Okay, now we'll glue this in. So I'm going to frame this in. All right, and I mean, how quick and easy was that card? All right, beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at that. All right, now I did not account for a sentiment on here, but you could do a little sentiment if you wanted to. Let's see what we go. Sending spooky smiles. That might be a good one. Let's do that. I think that will fit on here. So I'm just going to trim this one out. Okay. And this is what I love about rub-ons is that you can go over top of rub-ons. So I'm going to take the backing off and I'm going to use my tweezers and I can place this right over top. So I'm just going to center this as best I can. Maybe I'll put it down here. All right, we're going to do this down here. Okay, once I have in position, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a burnish with just with my finger, and then I'm going to use my tool here. And give it a good burnish. And again, I'm going to hold it in place, and I'm going to pick this up and just start pulling it off, making sure everything is transferred really nicely. And it has. All right. And there is our first card. All right. Look how awesome that is. I mean, that one was quick and easy. Adding the wax really, really helped. All right. The look of that card. That is just gorgeous. Okay. And then to finish this off, a little bit of gems might be really cool on there. So I'll do that off camera. But number one, done. Love those. Oh my gosh. Super cute. That one I don't think I want to give away. All right. All right. So let's go to our next card using the larger transfers on this one. And I thought I would bring in, because I love this one so much, is that Polaroid frame from Spellbinders. All right. And again, I've used it many, many times. It is called the memory frames. Sorry, it's mixed up with another Pooh Bear one here, but it comes with this Polaroid frame. It comes with this postage stamp, which I'm going to use in a different application for today. And then there's a really great little label and the little rivets for the label. All right, so it is a good die to have, like that little black dress in your closet. It's going to be a classic that you're going to go to over and over again. All right, so this is my card front. I have a lovely pattern paper from Graphic 45, so a little preview of Graphic 45 for tomorrow that I'm going to layer onto black, and then a lovely orange cardstock from Spellbinders. All right, so you could go ahead and ink the edges on those. I'm choosing not to, just for time commitment here, but you can definitely do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this together. So I'm just going to layer these panels on one another. And again, they could just go down in 1/4 of an inch No, this one is not 1/4 of an inch. I think this is like 1/8 of an inch difference. Doesn't matter. You can definitely go down 1/4 of an inch. Size does not matter on this card. It is an A2, starts as an A2, and then I just do the different layers on there. So you can choose your thickness of layers. All right, so that is my card face. I mean, nothing special about that. Just a great Halloween gingham pattern on the back. All right. And then we have our Polaroid frame. Now, instead of using white, I cut it out of black cardstock. I think it just made more sense to me. All right. So we're going to find a piece of white cardstock and we are going to transfer. All right. This is a scrap. All right, so now we're going to use one of these. You know what? I got to use those ducks. I just think they're so funny. I just love those little ducks. And you know, the ducks or geese or whatever you want to call them, the porch ducks or porch geese, I mean, are a popular thing. So I think that is just super cute. So let's use that one. So this is another large image that we are going to use here. And we're going to put the little ducks. So let's make sure the ducks fit in the Polaroid first. Oh yeah, they fit perfectly. Okay. So let's go ahead and I'm going to give them a little bit of extra space so that I have enough space to center my Polaroid over top of them. All right. So again, I'm just going to use my bone folder just because it's easy. All right. And let's transfer them on. All right. So once you think you have it done, pick a corner. And then very slowly lift it up, making sure the transfer has been complete. Perfect. All right, so there is our little ducks. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. So cute. All right, so now I'm going to take my Polaroid frame and I'm going to go ahead and glue that over top. All right, so I'm just centering that as best I can. They just like perfectly fit in there. It's like it was meant to be. All right, so I'm just going to, and you can make this into a shaker as well. We're not going to do that, but you could. Just saying. All right. All right, I'm sticking it down there. I'm going to let that glue tack down before I trim that out. Okay, in the meantime, we need a sentiment for this one here. And I'm going to put it on a little banner here. Now, I have little banners cut out here, and I think these are from Gina K. And it was just from one of the dies. And I just have a bunch of extra ones here, and I'm hoping that I can use one of these to go over top to do the banner on there. So let's just see what banner. Oh, there's a Boo Crew. I think that's so cool. But will that fit? Not on that one. Ooh, maybe that one. All right, I think we can use this one. Now, if you don't have a die that does little banners, you could definitely just transfer it onto a piece of white cardstock and then cut the strip out as a rectangle. No biggie. I just had those banners here, so I just thought I would use it. So I like the Boo Crew because I just think that's so sweet for these little ducks. All right, now I'm hoping that this will fit on there nicely. it will. Oh my gosh, that was like meant to be. Okay, again, I give it a little push down with my finger, and then I'm just going to use my bone folder here. And then peel back very, very slowly. And we have Boo Crew. Love it. Okay, sentiment is ready to go. And now I'm going to go ahead and trim this out. Now, I could use my paper trimmer, but it's just as easy to use my scissors. All right, there's our little Polaroid with our little fun little geese. How sweet are they? Oh my gosh. Okay, like I said, these are quick and easy cards, just using components that you may have in your collection. We're going to go ahead and adhere this, and I'm going to pop this Polaroid up. And I am going to put it at an angle. Normally I don't put things at an angle, but I'm going to put this at an angle. All right. Now we're going to put this at an angle and something like so. All right, there we go. Love it. And then we're going to take our Boo Crew, and I think I'm going to put this straight across there. Or do we want it at an angle? See, I always look at the camera. No, I think I'm going to go straight. All right, and I am going to pop this one up as well. And then maybe a few gems on here, and then that is it. I mean, these are quick and simple cards. Use what you have in your stash in terms of the die cuts and such, but sorry, I got to bring this closer to me. I'm going to have it just slightly overhanging the edge of our little Polaroid frame here. All right, there we go. And then I think just a couple of little gems in this section will finish that off really, really nicely. All right, so there is card number 2. All right, so those are the larger rub-ons. And again, you could use each of those rub-ons in that frame if you have them. You could probably use each of the rub-ons in the Polaroid frame if you have that as well, but really quick and simple cards with that wow factor. Okay, so let's move on to the medium size rub-ons in this collection. So when I say medium size, if I bring these out here, this is a large, and I think this is a large, then I don't know, this one here can be in between. It almost is a large, I think. So and then you get these kind of more smaller medium sized elements, the witch's legs, all right, 4 of them. And then we have the tiny ones, all right. So we're going to use these kind of in between sizes. And for this one here, we're going to do a tag and a car. Oh, you know what? What is this one for? I don't know what this one is for. All right, so we're doing a tag. Oh, and then we're doing, okay, sorry. We are doing a tag, and then we're going to do a card with that one. All right, so. Okay, so this is a brand new cut and emboss folder. Last year, they had the postage edge one, and it was our probably #1 selling cut and emboss folder. And this is the next one, and this is more this is called scalloped frames. You've got the oval and the rounded rectangle. It's going to work the same way as that first embossing folder I showed you, but I'm going to walk you through the steps on this one. Okay, so this one here, you're going to get the embossing folder that does the embossing details. You're going to get the dies that do the outer edge on both shapes, and then you'll get the dies that will do the inner edge as well. So you can really create these as frames or as layering pieces. All right. So I'm going to show you how this is done. Excuse me. I have the black one on this one already done, but we're going to do a black oval for this one here, all right? So I have a piece of black cardstock here. And again, when I tape the dies into the embossing folder, I do it on a side that's got the logo on it, all right, which is always the top side. That is just me. That just makes sense to me, all right? So I just use the best tape ever from Spellbinders. You're just going to place it on there, and it kind of fits in there, all right? And then I am going to just tape that in so that they're secure. I tape it in 2 spots, all right? Then you're going to put your paper in. So this is the black that I want to do. So I'm going to lay that in there. We're just going to make sure things are lined up on there, and that entire die is covering that black piece of paper. You can do 2 at the same time. You can do strip in there. I just need the black oval, so I'm just going to do the black oval. Then you're going to run this through your die cut machine as the 3D embossing folder sandwich. So for me, that is the base, and then the adapter plate from Spellbinders, all right? No, you cannot buy this by itself. It does not come with it. It comes with a universal plate system. That is the only way you can get it. All right, so I'm going to run that through. And then the beauty of this is that it will emboss and cut at the same time. And here is my beautiful embossed frame. And can you see the embossing on there? It's really, there we go. Look how beautiful that is. Lovely. So that is the scalloped frames, all right? So these are in, and we are loving them. Okay, so we might as well do this card that we're creating here. We might as well, I'm wondering, yeah, let's do it. Let's do a little bit of highlights on here. I'm just going to use the wax that is on here. There should be enough on here just to highlight this, because we have it, so we might as well use it, right? And that's really going to show that scalloped edge. I don't know if you can hear my cat. Oh my gosh, she's like crying. All right, that really highlights that nicely. Gotta have some wax, guys. I don't know if we have all the colors. I know people are going to want the colors I use, so I'll double check and make sure we get them on order, but that just really highlights that. And that's just whatever was left on mine, on my dauber here. This will technically kind of dry, but once you kind of hit it with the wax again, it reactivates itself, which is kind of cool. So it's a really nice, just faint, but it really highlights that with not like overkill. All right. So, okay. So we're going to put that to the side, and now we are going to put something in the center here. So what are we going to use? I think I want to use her because she's super, super sweet. And then I want to use this guy on my tag because I just think that is super cute. All right, so let's use her. The little pumpkin head. All right, now I need a piece of paper. Now, do I want to do white or do I want to do cream? These are the hard choices I must make. Just go into my little scrap bin here, and here is a piece of cream. That will do. All right, let's do cream. All right, so I'm going to just take her. I'm going to place her, making sure I have enough room to die cut her out in that oval shape. So I'm just going to bring her down a little bit. I'm going to give her a little burnish just with my hands so that rub-on sticks. Going to grab my little bone folder here, and let's transfer her. All right, I think I got her all. So again, we're just going to pick up that corner, go slowly, and she transferred over beautifully. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and die cut her now. So I'm going to go back to that die set, the emboss and cut folder. All right, this is the inner die set. And we're going to position this over top of her and center her in there. And I am going to tape her because I don't want that to move. Sometimes I will take the risk These rub-ons will also coordinate with that stamp and emboss folder from last year. I'm going to grab mine just to show you it before I die cut this. All right, so this was the last year's one, which was the arch and the rectangle in the postage edge. All right, so these will fit in there nicely as well. So if you have this from last year, you're going to be able to use this. It's just a postage edge, but that scalloped edge is pretty, 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 pretty. All right, let's die cut her out. All right, so there she is. And she's going to fit so lovely in there. Look at that. I think I'm going to just hit the edges and give her just a little bit of that bronze edge again. Okay, and let's go ahead and glue her in. Okay, so we just want to frame that in there nicely. And I am just going to give it a little bit of pressure just to make sure it's good and stuck. All right. And look how beautiful that is. Looks like a little brooch. She's super sweet. Okay, now to complete this on a card, I have a black card front 4¼ by 5½. Then I have that lovely plaid again. And I think I'm going to take this, let's see if I can get a little bit of that wax off. Yep, it's coming. Very subtle, but it's there. All right, I'm going to grab the wax and just add a little bit more. All right, so now I'm going to, there we go. Now we can really see it. At least I can. I don't know about you on the camera, but it is there. And because we're going kind of on tone, we're just seeing that little bit of metallic sheen on there. I'll bring it up to the camera in a second. All right, let's see. There you go. You can see that little sheen, which makes it really extra special. All right, so then I cut a little arch, and this is the Perfect Touch arches from Spellbinders. Love that little detail on there. So it's like kind of a little half moon on the edge rather than stitching. It's a nice little detail. And again, I'm going to go around the edges of this, and this is going to look spectacular because it's a little bit darker than the tone of the paper. So we're getting a kind of shadowing, but with a little bit of metallic. All right, so there is, look at how beautiful that is. Oh my God, that's stunning. All right, then we might as well put a little bit on the black, because why not? And I think maybe I'm just going to go a little bit heavier in the corners, light on the sides, heavier in the corners. All right, so take a look. All right, so a little bit heavier in the corners. Look how beautiful that is. Guys, get the wax. I'm just saying. Okay, let me clean up the wax here. Now, you can use just water to clean up the wax. I'm using rubbing alcohol because this way I don't have to wait for my glass mat to dry. So I'm just cleaning it off. It's coming off very easily. I'm cleaning off the glue off my glass mat. That's what I'm scrubbing at. Okay. Okay, let's put this together now. So we have our black and then our plaid. So that's going to go on there. That sheen on there is gorgeous, guys. I'm just saying. It took this card up a notch. I like little happy accidents, you know. All right, so let's frame this in. All right, and then we're going to put this on there. The sheen on this paper is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. So this is just the backside of that lovely plaid. All right, and it is a graphic 45. And yes, we do have this as single sheets up for sale, or will be up for sale. Just in this color tone, because I knew I was using it in this demo and tomorrow's demo. So we want to make sure that if you wanted to replicate these, we had all the stuff. All right, so all right, so there is our card front. Oh, that shimmer is just gorgeous. And now we're going to put her, and that's the reason why I took the oval, because it kind of matched the curvature of the arch here. And then we're going to put a sentiment here. All right, so let's pick our sentiment and get that down there. Ghoul friends forever. Happy Halloween, tricks, treats, and fun. A hunting we will go. Hope your Halloween delights. I think I'm going to do Happy Halloween because it's going to fit there really nicely. And it's got some bulk to it because it's all capital letters. All right. So let's place this. I just need my tweezers, which are missing. There. So I'm going to center it left to right as best I can. And I'm going to bring it about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom edge of that Perfect Touched ovals. All right, once I have it in place, I'm going to give it a little burnish with my finger, and then I'm going to use my bone folder and give it a good burnish. All right, and then, oop, I didn't get the corner of the end there. All right. Uh-oh, I see my O flipped over. Uh-oh. Don't know if I can fix this, everyone. Can I fix it? Oh, I did. Oh, it slightly transferred over, but then there was part of the O, and then it like fell over on top of itself. So it was a little scary situation, but I fixed it. All right, so there is our Happy Halloween. That turned out beautiful. Transferred over nicely on top of the wax as well, which is good news. All right, so if you find that you may have a piece that may be kind of sticking up, I just put the release sheet back on there and then use my fingers just to make sure it's all pushed down. All right, and then it will just help it in case there was like a little loose end of that. All right, but look how beautiful that is. Okay, now we're going to take our little pumpkin girl, and we're going to pop her up, and we're going to center her left and right, and look how incredible that card is. Love it. I just need some more big pop dots here. All right, look at that. Oh my gosh. Just stunning with that shimmer on there. Oh, love it. All right, so that is card number 3. Again, easy peasy, working with some of the, new cut and emboss folders are gonna that are like classics. All right, they're just really, really great pieces. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do a little tag now. I figured I know I will make. I used to. I don't do it no more, obviously, because they're all grown. But I used to do little goodie bags for my niece and nephew, and so having tags. Halloween tags was always good, so I could attach them to the bags and such. All right, so I just cut a tag, and this is my favorite tag die. I've used it already this week from Uniquely Creative. This is the Stitched Essentials tag. Just a great, again, another black dress in your closet. One. All right. Now, I cut it out of better press paper because I want to better press this to create some texture on the background. So I am going to use that spiderweb press plate. And this is an older one. There is a new one coming out, and I can't remember what it is, but we don't have it yet. So we're going to use this. And this is just going to create some texture in the background. All right. So I'm going to just lay my tag on the lid here. And I'm going to grab black ink, and we're going to ink this up. All right, I am using Brilliance ink again. If you watched me earlier this year, or this week, I couldn't find my Better Press, and I didn't look for it again today. So we're just going to use this one because we know it will work. So this is a shimmer ink, but the lines on this spiderweb are so fine that you really don't see the shimmer, but it does press nicely. It does come in gold, silver, and white, and it's beautiful to work with the Better Press, just so you know. All right. All right, so I'm inking this up, and my rule of thumb is if you are questioning, do I have enough ink on there? Then I go over it one more time. All right. All right, so that is fully coated. And now I'm going to attach this, and then I'm going to grab my manual die cut machine, because I find with my electronic one, or electric one, it has too much pressure. It goes too quickly and too much pressure. So I like using my manual one for this. Okay, and ta-da! There is our spider web. Love it. Really great texture for the background of our tag. Quick and easy to do if you have a Better Press system. Do you have to use Better Press paper for this? No, you do not. You could use regular white cardstock. That would be fine. It wouldn't. You don't get that. You get a pressed look, but you get that pressed look and feel much better with the Better Press paper. All right. So don't feel like you have to use the Better Press paper. If you use 110 solar white Nina paper, you are going to get a lovely press as well. But gorgeous. Okay, so this is going to go on there. Look how fun that is with the spider web behind it. Okay, let's get our little image here. So we need white cardstock this time. So let's see what I got here. Looking for a scrap. All right, will this work? Oh yeah, we got enough room there. Okay, I will be using that die. All right, so I want to use that cute little mummy because he just makes me smile. Okay, so we're going to place him, and I'm going to push him up to the top because I want to try to fit a sentiment behind or underneath him because he's short. All right, so let's go ahead. All right, again, we're going to lift one of the corners. Da, 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 da. And he transferred beautifully. Okay, I'm going to die cut him first, and then we'll figure out if we have enough room or a small enough sentiment to go underneath him. Well, maybe I should look now because No, I don't think any of them are going to fit because they are too wordy. So I'm going to center him on there. Okay. And let's die cut him out. Oh my gosh, she is so cute. Take a look at that. Oh, super sweet. All right. Now he's going to go in the inside of our little sculpt frame. So this little sculpt frame is the rectangle from that cut and emboss folder. All right. I'm not going to highlight this one just because we're going to keep this as a kind of a white and black kind of theme here, but we're going to center him in there, frame him in. Oh, I just got another idea, and I'm wondering if we should do it. All right, we're gonna do another random. All right, so I think I'm gonna put a little banner on him. So let's grab. All right, let's do a haunting we will go. I think that's gonna fit on here nicely. What's my time? Well, we're about the hour mark. We might go over an hour on this one. The small ones I have just a quick little demo to show you with that. But I just thought of something to do with these cut and emboss, which I think is kind of a brilliant idea to make tags. All right, so just bear with me, guys. As long as I can find acetate, we'll be fine. Okay, again, we're going to pull this off very, very slowly. All right, haunting we will go. Okay, look at that cute little tag. Super sweet. All right, we're going to pop this one up. All right, after I've just like created with these, I've just realized I probably need to order more of these. I think these are going to go really, really quick now that I provided you some inspiration. So after this video, I'm going to go and order more so that if they do sell out as on, we should have them within a few days. All right, and I'm going to pop up my little sentiment strip here. All right, cute little tag. Let's grab a little bit of twine to put on there, only because I had black twine sitting right on my desk here. That does not happen very often. Okay, and all right, look at that cute little tag. Super sweet, haunting, we will go. Oh my gosh, super sweet. That background makes a world of difference. Instead of having a plain background, or even it just, you could do pattern paper, but I really like that white and black look. It doesn't take away from that character. All right, so I just thought of something here, and we're gonna make a fun little tag. And okay, not this one. All right, we're gonna do a shaker tag. All right, so can I? All right, I might be able to. Okay, so we're going to do a little quick shaker tag because I really wanted to show you how to use this as a frame as well. Okay, so I'm going to go through the process of this. All right, so we're going to need one piece that has both dies in there. So I am going to, there's a little wiggle room on here, but that's okay. All right, we're going to tape that one in. And then we're going to tape the other one in as well. So right now we've only used the outside dies on these. So I want to show you how to create a frame on here. So now I'm going to take this one and we're going to insert it in here and tape it down. Okay, so this is going to create a frame. All right, and now okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run that through as a 3D embossing folder. All right, so look at the beautiful frame we have just created. And again, if you are a scrapbooker or journaler, that's going to make a really great picture frame. Same with the oval. So just keep those embossing folders in mind. All right, so then I just want to use a backing. I need a backing for my shaker tag. So I'm just going to use the outside die by itself. Oh, I just cut that paper just perfectly. So again, I'm just using the die by itself. Okay, so now we have our front and then our back. I didn't center that inside piece very good, but I'm rushing, that's why. All right, so this is going to now create a shaker tag. We're going to make this into a tag. I'm just so excited about this. All right, acetate. Aha, found a piece. Okay, I'm just going to cut a little rectangle. Okay. All right. So again, I'm going to grab a piece of white cardstock. I feel like I have an utter mess going on here. Yes, that will fit on there. We'll just use this scrap. Okay, so what do we have here? We are down to little guys here. Oh, let's do the witch's legs. I think that one might be cute. Will that fit nicely on here? Oh yeah, look at that. Look how cute that will be. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I don't need that middle. I don't need that die. So as long as, all right, we're good. So I'm going to rub these on here. Oh, did I do? Okay, I should have, that's okay. We'll still make this work. All right, all good, all good. Okay, so let's make this shaker tag now. Sorry, there was a lot of thinking in there. All right, I'm gonna flip this around. This is our frame, and we're gonna put the acetate behind this. Now, because of the nature of the embossing and debossing on the back, I would recommend a good strong tape. And when you put the tape on, you want to kind of put it on the flat areas. So I'm really kind of putting that close to that inside rectangle, all right? Avoiding kind of those scallops. So this is 1/8 of an inch. And I am going to now use this, and I'm just going to cut a piece of acetate that's just slightly bigger than this. And this acetate has a plastic film on it, so I do have to take that off. It's just on the one side. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. This idea popped in my head, and now I really want to do it, and hopefully it turns out, and it will be fabulous. All right, so acetate now is going on. And now that has created our little window. All right, so there's that. And now I'm going to put foam. Oh, now I got to find my foam strips. I'm going to put my foam strips. Well, you know what? I have this foam tape, which I think will be fine. We're going to make it work. My foam strips are literally buried. All right, so this will fit on the back side of this, no problem. So when you do this, you just want to make sure you have no openings for your shaker elements to fall through. So no gaps, no nothing like that. All right, so we have our foam adhesive on the back, and now, oh, well, I'm going to take these off. I got to get shaker elements here. All right, let's see what we got for shaker elements. What do we got for Halloween shaker elements? Let's see. Well, we've got some purple and, well, black sequins. I don't think I want to use the purple ones. We've got these little great ones. We have these ones, I think, in stock, but they're not going to match the elements. I think I'm just going to use the black sequins. Ooh, I have silver stars as well. There's black sequins as well. So let's use those ones. Okay, let's just use those. And a bit of the silver stars. I should probably use my little spoon. I don't want to go overkill on these ones because these are pretty big. So just a few of them, and then I feel like I have too many of these ones. I'd rather have the smaller stars. Okay, that's enough for those. And then we'll add the stars. This has got a little bit of glitter in there too. All right. Just pushing everything into the center, flattening it out so we've got good shake on those. And now we can take the backings off of our little frame here. And oh, fun, fun, fun. All right, so now I should have used my little static thing on there for the glitter, but that's okay. All right, so we've got this little great shaker element. I'm just going to go and cut this excess white. And don't worry about how ugly it looks on the back, because that's why we die cut the other piece here. All right, so now this piece is going to fit in here. And I'm going to do the good side to the back. And we want to put a little embellishment on top to make this into a tag. All right, so I think I'm just going to use this only because I have it. No, maybe not. Oh, you know what? Let's use this. All right, and then we can punch a hole in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to score this in half, just to give it some stability. All right, so this was the inside piece of this. All right, let's measure this. It is like 2 1/8. So it's like 1 1/16. I'm gonna score this. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect in half. All right, so this is now gonna fold in half. And I'm gonna glue this together. And this is gonna be the tag part of it. All right. It all makes sense in a second, guys. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece now and we're going to glue this behind our white piece. All right. And this is where we're going to punch the hole to make this into a tag. So this will look great on a gift bag, on a treat bag. You want to give yourself enough room on that to punch a hole. And I do have that centered pretty good. All right. All right, now we're going to do the backing on here, right? So this is going to line up like so. You want the good side on the way back, on the front side, all right, or the side that's showing, so that it looks finished. All right. All right, and this will match up. Just going to let that glue set. We're going to get a little sentiment on here. And what do we have left here? And then we're going to get to those little ones. Wishing you a spooky night. I don't have no straight ones and they're not going to fit on this little banner, but I'm going to come up with something. And I was going to put it over here so it kind of covers the gap I have on the witch's skirt. I shouldn't have used a scrap piece of paper, but that's what I'm going to do. I'll figure that out. But now we're going to just punch a hole. And let's put some string on here. And now we just made a lovely little shaker tag. All right, so there we go. If you wanted to, like, I know I just used that piece of paper only because we had it, but if you wanted to round the corners on here, I do have a corner rounder punch here somewhere. There it is. Let's see if I can do this now. I don't think I can do it. I should have done that beforehand if you wanted to round the corners, but that's okay. Cute little, I'm gonna put a little sentiment on there. I'll find one that will fit on there. And then, oh, tricks, treats, and fun. That's what that will work. Yay. All right, so now I just gotta find a banner that's going to fit on there. Oh, perfect. Let's finish this one up. And then I'm going to get you those little ones. Now, those little ones, if you have a wax seal, those are meant for those wax seals, and we've done them in the past. I was going to show it today, but I knew it would take way too long. And here I am now, taking way too long. But I did want to show you, oh, that fits perfectly on there. That makes me happy. Another way to use those small ones. All right. So you could actually cut them and you can use them on these frames. They're just smaller. You're going to be able to put a sentiment underneath there and that would work as well. But When I was cutting that Polaroid frame, there was that little postage stamp on that, in that die set. All right, perfect. And I thought, oh my gosh, those would be perfect to put on as an embellishment. Use them on the inside of your card or on your envelopes. All right, so I wanted to show you those before we finished off today. All right, so now this is going to cover up that gap of the whoopsie, because Brenda was using a scrap piece of paper and should have used a regular piece of paper. All right, there we go. There's the cute little tag. Oh my gosh, super fun. Okay. Clean up, clean up, clean up. Oh, what a mess I have. Okay, so there, where is that die now? I'm gonna make sure I don't miss anything here. Okay, so this die here, this little postage stamp, and then the little inside piece. All right, now I've taken the liberty of cutting the outside piece, and I did that in black somewhere. All right, we're going to do a couple of these. All right, so I've cut them out of black. Won't these be super cute on an envelope? I'm going to leave that die out, and this one here, I can use this scrap. All right, so this is going to be for those little ones. So if you have a little postage stamp, there's lots of dies out there. Elizabeth Crafts have them. This one has it. You know, Waffle Flower has one as well. There's lots out there. Check your stash, but if not, get that Polaroid one because you'll be able to use that over and over again. All right, so let's do, I'm just going to do the first two here, which is this cute little kitty cat and this cute little skeleton. All right, let's finish this up. All right, so we're going to do the skeleton. We're going to do both of these at the same time and the kitty cat. And again, I'm just using white cardstock, just a scrap, burnishing with my bone folder. That one I know did release. And then this one here. Beautiful. All right. We're going to die cut these. So this one here is not solid. So I'm going to do my best to center that on there as best I can. All right. So tape that on. Let's die cut that. You ready? Are you ready? Look how sweet this is. Look how cute. Okay, let's do the kitty cat. And the kitty cat. Oh, I did good with centering them. Not so hard. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue them onto the little postage base, the postage edge, the base. And now we've got these cute little Halloween stamps, which are so sweet. And again, you can use these with your wax seal maker, the clear one, as well as the other wax seals. We've shown that in the past with the clear, and super fun to do. But look how sweet these are. I will be putting more of those little Polaroid frame dies in my cart. All right, and I think these would be just lovely on an envelope for your Halloween cards. So let me just move things out of the way and clear some spots up. Uh-oh, I lost my kitty cat now. Oh my gosh. I cleared him off. Oh, there he is. Okay, so we've got the cute little stamps. They work really well with those mini ones. All right, and then we did the impromptu shaker tag. All right, using that embossing folder. We've got this little guy here, the tags. All right, so those are kind of our small and medium. And then we did a card with the medium as well. This one is incredible. That's my favorite. And then we have the 2 large rub-ons. All right, so a nice collection. And this is just from 1 pack of rub-ons, guys. There is still, I still have this and this. All right, so you can still go ahead and keep on creating. So from 1 pack of rub-ons, these are again called Tricks and Treats from Spellbinders. They're the brand new ones. You can still continue creating. Honestly, 1 piece of paper of this, you're going to be able to get 6 card fronts on. So you could recreate these 2 if you wanted to, using the other elements on here. But what a nice array of projects that you can make from 1 pack. All right, so sorry I went over a whole lot today, but a whole lot of inspiration here with these rub-ons. Super exciting, super easy, and super effective. All right, we'll be back tomorrow, everyone, with our last video for our Boo Bash week. Summerween is here. Happy